The other week, I was at a talk
That's
where
called an anecdote.
Anecdotes are a form of evidence, Professor
Are they?
Starkey.
Oh, are they really?
Yes,
Now,
they are.
isn't that fascinating? I thought you were an academic. Shall we move on to...
about people,
Sadly,
period.
that's just the way we live. Like there's a million Venezuelans that are in Colombia.
Yes, you care so much about American people. Congratulations. I'm not like that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, get out, you little punk. You're in the room. You're a fucking punk ass motherfucker. You want me to shock you right now? This is damn resistance. We doing this today. Let's back it up. Go around, man. I'll fuck you up. Go around. I'll fuck you up. Get out the way. You get him up. Get out the way. I'll tear you out of that car, you little fuck. All around, dog. They make the blocks, man. All around.
Raise your hand if you voted for Donald Trump.
As a woman, how, Sway?
Well, I'm thinking that you're referencing to the one phrase that everyone loves to reference to about grabbing, right?
That phrase, just any way he treats his women, the way he treats his daughter, his rhetoric on Twitter, like anything. He's a creepazoid. But continue, go ahead, I'm listening.
Joe Biden's definitely not a creep.
Yeah, like there's plenty of creepazoids out there, like. But as far as, I'm just gonna use what most people use when they talk about that and him referencing grabbing women by the, you know, he was talking about women who let you grab you by that. And there's plenty of groupies out there that will do that, and they have been in existence for a long time. And they're gonna be existing for forever. So that's what he's referencing to. And me, being a woman, I don't carry myself that way, so I didn't feel any type of way about that phrase because I'm not letting people do that to me, so he's not talking about me.
All the cause, my sign says build bridges, not...
It's hard to read upside down.
Yeah.
What do you got over there? You can do it.
Pussies against patriarchy.
Yeah. What do you got over here?
It says my body, my choice, my country, my voice.
It's very artistic.
Like, you know, sometimes I just see a woman and I just can't resist but my lips, and I just grab them by the pussy.
It didn't go like that, and I didn't vote for Trump. I voted for Hillary. But at that moment, when that offended me, I didn't know the context of it, which is what she's trying to explain.
Very detailed with the pierced nipples and everything. So, hey, I'm out here for women's rights too. I just wanted to get you guys' opinion. What do you guys think about the wall? What do you guys think about the border wall? Do you think it's racist? Do you think it's immoral? Let's just go one by one, okay?
It's all of the following. It's absolutely horrifying. I just think it's appalling. This should not be happening, not in 2019. That's pretty much all I have to say.
Cool. What do you think?
The same thing.
Same?
I think it's like stupid. I'm sorry, am I allowed to cuss?
It's okay, yeah.
Okay, yeah, it's so stupid. Like, our country's one of the greatest, and we should be like trying to help other nations get come up to our level. Like, we shouldn't be putting them down. It's stupid.
Recording on my phone. I was at the Standard last Saturday, and a big yacht drove by full of women in thongs, and all of them were twerking, all of them were doing grotesque, awful things, and the guys were just there pouring champagne on them. And those are groupies. Those are women that
okay?
Want to be seen
no,
that way.
It is not. So, this is the most ridiculous thing for me. As a woman, nobody has a right to touch your body. I don't care if you put your tetas in their face. If you say no, nobody should touch you.
Cool. Well, the reason why I'm out here is I'm actually marching for illegal immigrant women's rights. Because I don't know if you know this, but at least 20,000 people, human beings, are human trafficked across the southern border annually. And 80% of those human beings are women, and in some cases, little girls and children. And 70% of those cases are for the purpose of sexual exploitation, prostitution. So I'm out here marching for those lives. I'm out here marching for these illegal immigrants, or immigrants, whatever you want to call them, people coming from foreign countries. These little girls, these women that deserve a voice and that deserve to be heard. I'm out here marching for them.
Right to violate you in any kind of way. And it doesn't matter what socioeconomic status you come from. It doesn't matter what you look like. I don't care if you rubbing on him From the moment that you say no.
Yeah, but I think you're referring to rape.
And so I personally believe, I don't know if you guys know this, but this month, as of January 2019, like you say, it's 2019, how could we still be living in ancient times like freaking Neanderthals and murdering people and little kids and children? It doesn't make any sense. But as of January 2019, the criminal Rendon Reyes crime enterprise, sex trafficking enterprise, was convicted this month and admitted to taking advantage of the southern border and how weak our immigration system is. And they lured little girls, women, as young as 14 years of age over the southern border and forced them into sex acts, prostitution, forced abortions, and threatened their families to murder their families if they did not comply. These are little girls.
And like, so you paint everyone as a racist when like, you know, do you know what kind of friends I have? Do you know like who my family's from? Like, do you know who I hang around with? Do you know what I stand for?
Do you even know me?
You can't just automatically paint everyone who's a Trump supporter as a racist, because honestly, that dilutes from real racism.
Man, women, gay, straight. Someone in the binary, a group, will be privileged. Men, straight, so black, white, white. We live in this patriarchal, heteronormative world that is systemically racist. Racism manifests in many very different ways. And that is important for us to understand.
Maybe because you're manifesting it, because that's all you think about.
That are being sex trafficked from Mexico, from Central America into the United States by illegal immigrants in the United States. And they're being forced. You want to hear something crazy? Some of these girls were forced to perform 45 sex acts a night against their will. These are all convicted crimes. According to the Department of Justice system, the DOJ in the United States, this happened this month. Little girls that are being forced against their will to stay in this country into prostitution, raped, and in some cases, beat and abused. For me, I'm out here fighting for them. I believe that a border wall, I believe that a wall would actually save lives rather than take life. I believe that if we built a wall, that we would save these little girls, 14 years of age, that are they're not coming here for asylum. They're being forced here against their will.
She said racism is happening. I don't want to misconstrue your words, but you said something along the lines like racism is happening because we're manifesting it. I'm a woman of color. Racism happens to me every day. I have to be pendiente. I have to be aware of it.
Like
because
in what way?
I walk
Like what? Can you tell us about the racism?
Let me finish? Thank you. It lives in my life every single day. As I walk, as I get dressed, as I go to a store, as I go to a supermarket, every little thing that I do, race plays a part of it in my life as a woman of color.
So would you...
So you can't... Again, thank you. Appreciate ya.
Would you guys agree with the blanket
white.
statement that Trump supporters are racist? Do you guys agree with that?
To an extent, yeah.
So yes, the answer is yes.
And raped and put into prostitution against their will. I'm here for them today, and I hope you would be too. And I just personally believe if we built a wall, that these little girls' lives would be saved. And I don't know if you know this, but these criminals were convicted. All of the money that they were making off the prostitution from the girls, none of these women or little girls saw a dime. You know where all the money went? It went straight back into Mexico to the cartels.
I'm not trying to continue to focus on Latin American problems because I live here. So when I look at what the president is, whether it's him or Obama or whoever comes next, I'm looking at it as what is he doing for Americans overall? Is he cutting taxes for us, the middle class? Because there's a lot of Latinos that could fall there, obviously in poverty as well. But what is he doing? How is he loosening up the free market economy so that we can create jobs?
His economic policies,
right, his economic policies for sure. So there's more Latinos, unemployment is down for both minorities, for blacks and Latinos.
The unemployment level of the Hispanic community is at the lowest rate it's ever been in history.
So I personally believe if we built a wall, that it's not immoral. I believe we would actually save lives. That's a lot of people, 20,000 people and 80% women sex trafficked into the United States. These are statistics from the Department of Justice of the United States. And those are unbiased. These aren't politically swayed. These are all the way back until the administration of Bush. So, I mean, I don't know if you know this as well, but in 2006, the Bush administration approved a border wall to be built in Yuma County in Arizona. It was 20 foot high. After they built the wall, crime went down 96% in Yuma County in Arizona, including human trafficking. So we've seen in history that a wall works, and that was before the advent of Donald Trump. That was under Bush. So my personal opinion, I'm out here fighting for illegal immigrant women and little girls' lives, and I believe that a wall would save their lives because that's higher immigration security at the southern border. Because you know what these men admitted? They admitted that they took advantage of our weak immigration system at the southern border. So what do you guys think about that?
I think there needs to be an immigration reform for sure, but the situation in which we're currently under the United States, it's not a matter of what's done, it's how it's done. So I feel like, me personally, like, there needs to be big, not only like policy change, but social change. There needs to be a lot that goes into it. It's not, I personally believe that building the wall, like hearing the statistics, like I can see how it would be beneficial, but there definitely needs to be, the racial factor needs to be taken out of it.
And I agree with you. Like, just take Donald Trump out of it. Would you agree that a wall, even statistically proven in the past, could possibly save little girls' lives?
Do it because I'm here already, I'm working, I'm paying my taxes, do something that with a vision for the future that I can, that really benefits me, not just because you feel bad for me, I'm
finishing my PhD, I teach about this. I'm teaching a master's course on it right now. Race or ethnicity or gender, these conceptualizations that we have were brought into existence for particular political purposes. There is no biological essentialism to this. These are political and social constructs. So we've created laws that have historically murdered people for phenotypes, for genders, for their sexuality. So we've done this historically through policy. I don't see why we cannot also, through policy, create different types of reparations for people. There are different
civil rights laws.
There are different ways.
Take Donald Trump out of it. I agree with you. There are things he could say a lot better, right? There are things he could say that, I probably would have said that a little differently so you don't piss off an entire civilization and culture of people, right? Take him out of it. Do you believe that a wall could possibly save the lives of these little girls they're not coming here for asylum? They're being forced here against their will to perform sex acts. Can you imagine living like that? Is that women's rights? Is that freedom?
No.
So would you agree that a wall could possibly save these little girls' lives?
Possibly.
What do you think?
It's just the way that the wall is a symbol for things. Like when we start talking about the wall, we don't think about that. All we think about is, oh, keep the Mexicans out. Oh, keep the Latin Americans out. Keep those dirty immigrants out. And that's why I'm never going to say yes to a wall.
So even if 80% of little girls are being sex trafficked, you would never say yes to it? Like I said, remove Donald Trump. Let's say we get another president.
You can't remove Donald Trump.
I'm talking about just the purpose of the wall saving lives. I'm saying just remove Donald Trump from the equation. Let's say Donald Trump gets impeached, whatever. Let's say some other Republican president that doesn't come off as a racist comes through and gives you the same statistics I gave you and says, hey, we should build a wall, not to, demean Mexicans, but we should do it to save lives. How would you respond to that if it was said differently? What if it was put the way that I'm putting it to you?